Hello! With the introduction of cookies to the Ironman game mode, there has never been a better time to start an Ironman profile. So, don't worry guys, I got you covered and I'll share a bunch of tips and tricks on how you get you started. Your first priority when starting an Ironman profile should be to grab yourself the rogue sword from one of the villagers. And of course, talking to each villager gives you 10 coins. So let's use these coins to purchase ourselves a rookie hoe, a rookie pickaxe, and a promising axe. You might be wondering, why are we getting these specific tools? Well, the rookie hoe will give us extra seeds that we can later sell to the shop from some extra coins. The rookie pickaxe will quickly get replaced with the pickaxe that we will find for the lazy miner. And the promising axe is one of the better axes we can get that will have free enchantments without us actually having to enchant anything. Next, let's make our way to the graveyard and let's kill a couple zombies to gain a combat level. This will unlock the access to the spider's den. And there we can go ahead and talk to the Bestiary Master and the Grandma Wolf on top of the hill to unlock our Bestiary perks. Plus, we can gain our very first pet to gain some extra stats while leveling up, taming, and our little Grandma Wolf pet. It's a pretty good pet. It gives us some extra strength for more damage. Plus, it gives us the ability to gain extra magic find and coins for just killing enemies. Next, let's talk to the archaeologist. So he introduces us different relics that we can find around the spider's den. These are fantastic as it provides a massive boost of coins for whenever you're starting out. I went ahead and grabbed the relic at the very corner of the spider's den, as I think it is one of the easiest ones to grab and the only one that I remember. So, here's the 10,000 coins in the purse. Our next step is to gain access to the park, meaning we need 5 foraging. So let's start working on our foraging level. This will take us only a couple minutes to get. And the park will provide us with the opportunity to complete the race to gain our hunter knife. The race can be found in the spruce wood section. If you talk to Gustavo over here, he's gonna unlock you the ability to step on the golden pressure plate, and all you have to do is run from here to the very end of the jungle biome, step on the golden pressure plate over there, and come back in less than 2 minutes. For completing the race, Gustavo will reward you with a shiny pebble. This item is, I'm pretty sure, useless. I never saw anything that this item can be used for. I guess it's a cool collection item to have. But what interests us is the next race that we have to complete in under 1 minute. It didn't take me more than one attempt to succeed the race, and I was able to claim my hunter's knife. This officially marks the end of the getting started segment. So let's start worrying about getting our minions set up. To start off, I went ahead and got the Oak 4 collection for the small minion storage recipe. These are pretty cheap, only require 1 stack of oak wood to craft. I would recommend getting about 10 of these. This should take you about 5 minutes or so. If you're feeling frisky, you can go ahead and grab 20 or 30 of these. It doesn't hurt to save proof yourself for the future. But for the first couple hours of playing, you shouldn't be able to get more than 10 minion slots, and you can always come back and grab more of these storages later. You can also use the woodcutter's shop. He sells a stack of oak logs for 320 coins each, and each stack is 1 small storage. You can easily grab yourself some extra small storages without having to forage. Also, this is a pretty good time to go ahead and visit one of your friends or an admin of the server and grab yourself the Sentry Cake buffs. These will give you some extra speed, strength, magic find, that you get your chance pretty much every single stat in the game for 2 days, and it doesn't cost you anything. With the acquired buff, let's go ahead and grab our level 1 mining and let's move on to the gold mine. This is where we're gonna start getting a couple of minions before we go on to the farming islands. Go ahead and talk to the lazy miner and let's find this pickaxe that he lost in the gold mines. It has smelting touch, so it'll be perfect for our resource grinding. And trust me, we're gonna have to be here for a little while. Now that we have our smelting touch pickaxe, let's get working on the resources. We're gonna need 2 tier 2 coal minions, a tier 2 iron minion, a tier 2 gold minion, and a tier 2 cobblestone minion. But also, we're gonna need the resources to be able to upgrade our starting cobblestone minion from tier 1 to tier 2 and be able to make 2 auto smelters for our 2 ore minions. The reason we want tier 2 minions is because storage space early on is a little bit more important than the minion speed, as we have to pay less attention to the minions and we can work on some other things. Also, with the money from the relic, don't forget to add telekinesis to all of your tools. Once you hit mining 5, feel free to go to the deep caverns and mine in the gunpowder mines. These mines have a lot more ores and will probably speed up your resource gathering. Be careful of the sneaky creepers, as I'm pretty sure these can do over 100 damage early game, so that would mean instant death and losing 5,000 coins. Just make sure you're paying attention. Also, make sure to grab yourself 2 gold blocks and 2 coal blocks for the bee pet, and make yourself a cleaver, which is found in the gold 2 collection, as it does pretty reasonable damage for early game and is a pretty good weapon overall. Once you've collected all the resources for all the minions listed, go ahead and teleport to your island, make a platform for the minions, and assemble your minion setup. Make sure you don't forget the ore smelters and the iron and gold minions. Once you've finished your budget minion setup, let's move on to the next progression stage, which is going to be unlocking all the collections, expanding your minion slots, and finalizing your minion setup. First, let's go ahead and grab our bee pet, because it is a farming pet, meaning that it will receive more experience while farming and level up our taming level faster. The reason why we want to do farming right now is to get to farming level 10. This will unlock the ability to do Jacob contests, which happen every hour. We have a selection of 3 crops that we can farm for 20 minutes, and this will reward with medals that can be used to purchase farming tools, and most importantly, farming building tools, which significantly speed up the farming building process. Once you hit farming level 10, feel free to go to Jacob and he will introduce you to the contests. Now, all you gotta do is check the calendar, see if there is any easy metals like wheat, cocoa bean, or cactus, as these crops are very easy to farm early game without having any tools and being able to earn some metals. Wheat can be farmed in the hub by switching to a new lobby every time you finish farming the entire wheat field, and cocoa beans and cactus can be found in the new desert island area. Now, with the wheat from farming to level 10, feel free to craft yourself the farming talisman, the farming suit, and upgrade your wheat minion a couple times. For the first time in the video, I will start giving you some alternative pathways to how you can progress depending on what you like doing more in the game. Our next goal is to get ourselves some armor in order to get into the deep caverns. These hold a lot of progress like enchanting, which will be used to grab ourselves the experimentation table as soon as possible. Our 2 alternatives for getting armor would be to either grab yourselves the farm armor, which is found in Wheat Collection 9. This armor takes about 40 minutes to get from the start of the game, and honestly is a pretty good alternative compared to Hardened Diamond. It provides slightly worse stats and will easily get you through the deep caverns, or we could go on a budget and grab ourselves the Mushroom Armor, which will require a little bit of time management considering it only provides the bonus during nighttime, but it's still a very good alternative compared to the time it takes to get all of the resources required to make it. If you do decide to go for the farm armor, make sure to grab yourself a Harvesting 5 book as it is unlocked very early in the wheat collection. Get the required paper from the farming merchant by buying the sugarcane, and to get the required levels to use the book, go ahead and mine some lapis in the deep caverns. Now that you probably got yourself the farm armor or decided against it, doesn't matter which one, let's go ahead and grab some sharpness books. We want to buy the sharpness books one by one because it will be a lot cheaper to apply the books onto our sword if we apply them one by one, and we combine the enchantments on the actual sword or tool, we won't have to pay the additional experience cost. Mainly, I just want to apply some sharpness to my cleaver so we can do some extra damage whenever we go to the barn and kill the farm creatures. This is a big progression step because we will be unlocking every single farming collection and start unlocking the most important farming minions. Now that you hopefully have what is a sharpness 5 enchantment on your cleaver, go ahead and talk to the blacksmith. He's going to give you a quest which basically means you will be able to reforge any rarity item for just 10 coal. Feel free to reforge your cleaver to do some maybe extra damage. There are no bad reforges that will reduce your damage, so there is no reason not to try. If you get a bad reforge, you can go ahead and try again. Just don't waste too much money. Take the first decent reforge that you find, which usually is sharp, spicy, epic, or legendary, and those will be more than enough, as we don't really need to do a lot of damage to these farm animals. And let's make our way to the barn. Over here, the main purpose is killing cows, chickens, and pigs to get their minions, and picking up some melons and pumpkins to make those minions as well. Now for the farm animal minions, like I said, we don't want to go too hard. We just want to grab the first tier of the minion. And please don't repeat the same mistake and grab telekinesis on your cleaver, as it will make your life a lot easier. For the pumpkin and melon minions, feel free to grab some extra tiers, maybe tier 3 for both, or if you're feeling frisky, feel free to grab yourself the tier 4 melon minion. The whole goal of this is to grab as many new tier minions as possible, as we don't want to end our very first session of playing at from 8 to 10 minion slots. Once you have gathered all the resources required to make the minions, let's make our way to the desert settlement. Here we're gonna finish unlocking every single farming collection besides carrot, potato, and netherwort, as we will be doing those in the hub, and pretty much grab the same formula like we did before. Tier 1 farm animal minions and about tier 3 to 4 for the rest of them. I'd say grab at least tier 4 cactus, as it is probably the easiest one to get. For the last thing that we need from the desert settlement is making our way to the mushroom Gorge and grabbing the mushroom tree collection and making the actual mushroom armor for our future explorations. Once we gather all the mushrooms, let's make our way back to the hub and abuse the hub farms to gather the last 3 collections that we haven't unlocked yet. For all the crop minions, I do recommend grabbing at least tier 4, as it will take a couple minutes and will give you a bunch of free minion crafts to advance your minion slots. And also, if you're wondering where to find carrots in the hub, there is a cave right behind the portal where you can enter, and there's lots of carrots over here that you can easily farm your minion. After you have crafted all of your minions, you should be sitting at about 1.5 hours of playtime if you did decide to skip on the farm armor, and about 2 hours if you did decide to get it. But now you should have at least 8 minion slots, if not 9. Use the 2 extra slots to put a chicken and a cow minions, most importantly, and use the extra slot if you have it for some other farming animal minion. I would recommend sheep or pig, as rabbits are not too important early game. And finally, after 2 hours of playing, we are finally able to have some fun and do some fun activities in the game, like reforging your armor and going into the deeper caverns to fight some monsters and mine some ores to hopefully unlock our dwarven mines as soon as possible. When it comes to reforging your armor, for the most damage, the 2 reforges are Pure and Fierce, depending on what you need more. Fierce gives a little bit more damage but less crit chance, and Pure gives less damage but more crit chance. I do prefer crit chance early game over damage to crit 100% of the time, but I would just recommend getting whichever comes first, Fierce or Pure, and then later when you have a little bit more money, you can focus on a specific reforge. Do you know that Fierce on common rarity items gives the exact same amount of crit chance as Spear, so Fierce is just straight up better on common rarity armor. Before I make our way to the mine, let's grab ourselves an undead sword, as it is the best sword to deal with undead creatures, which the deep caverns are full of, and put Smite 5 and Scavenger 3 on it, as it will do a little bit more damage and give us a little bit more coins for killing the creatures. Once you make your way to the mine, make sure to talk to the elevator guy to unlock its features, and hopefully banked all your coins before going here, because we won't need them. Our main goal in the Lapis mines is to get experience. We want to get a full Lapis set and a Lapis crystal for a magnetic reforge on our pickaxe, which will give even more experience while mining. And the whole purpose of this is to fully enchant a diamond pickaxe so we can carry on to the deeper floors of the mines. Once you get some lapis armor pieces, make sure to use them while mining, as it gives you more experience for mining ores. And do note that this armor does not really have good statistics, meaning that you will have a lot less health and damage while using lapis armor. So whenever you're trying to kill heavy duty monsters or survive a little bit more hits, use your full mushroom armor. Now when it's nighttime, well, preferably nighttime for your own convenience, but if you feel brave, you can do this during day. Go wander into the deeper floors of the mines and grab the resources to craft all the mining minions except for the diamond and the obsidian minion. Make sure to be very careful around pigmen, as they do get angry when you mine redstone around them, and these guys hurt. They will probably 2 or 3 hit you early game, and it's not a fun experience. So the best place to mine redstone if you are gonna get the minion is between the slime hill and the redstone mines. From my experience, the best place to mine ores is transitioning from one layer to another. For example, going from redstone to emerald, or going from emerald to diamond. Usually there is not a lot of mobs there, and you can have a pretty chill time just mining. Once you got all the resources for your level 1 minions, I wouldn't recommend getting higher tier minions for now. Go ahead and make your way to the diamond reserve and be very careful. Grab yourself a couple diamonds. 5 at least, and I would just recommend getting 5. All you need is a diamond pickaxe, and we want an enchanting table. After asserting dominance in the mines, and after getting 5 diamonds, go to the builder, to its legacy shop, and buy 3 extra lava buckets. We're gonna make our own obsidian to not have to risk our lives to get it, and we'll be able to make our enchanting table with it. Make sure to clean up your minions, as these do fill up pretty quickly early game. And do note that in this clip I don't have the small storages set because the order of which I recorded all my clips is very scuffed because I've never made a guide before. After you made your diamond pickaxe and made your own obsidian, feel free to get the 4 obsidian required to make an enchanting table. And yes, I am in this clip trying to mine with an iron pickaxe, don't worry, I realized it. After assembling the library, I went ahead and got Fire Aspect 2 on my sword, because Fire Aspect 2 nowadays is an extremely powerful enchantment. After setting up my enchantment area and a little sword upgrade, it's time to farm the experience to grab ourselves enchanting 10. The way we're gonna do this is enchanting our pickaxe, enchanting our sword, and most importantly, putting growth 5 on all of our armor pieces. In order to farm enchanting efficiently, we're gonna need a full lapis armor set. We're gonna need experience 3 enchantment on our sword, experience 3 enchantment on our pickaxe with a magnetic reforge, and also an experience 3 potion to help us earn as much experience as possible. And also, mining lapis will allow us to make experience bottles, which can also get you a little bit more experience. After you get 50 levels, go ahead and talk to the lapis miner and give your iron pickaxe away. He will give you a free compactor for it, and because we won't be using our iron pickaxe anymore, it's a pretty good deal. After that, let's start our enchanting process. With the 50 levels that we got, let's go ahead and put luck 5 on our sword. This will make farming for lapis armor a lot easier, as it will greatly increase the chances of enemies dropping armor. And let's go ahead and buy 9 stacks of glass from the builder and make 9 stacks of bottles. With this, we can make a bunch of experience bottles that we will use to enchant our pickaxe. After that, you can go ahead and upgrade your sword reforge, as you have a little bit more money. And I think sharp is by far the best reforge on an undead sword early game. Gives a lot of crit chance, so feel free to do that, but it's a not necessary step. Also, make sure to abuse the shops, as you can buy 9 stacks of paper every day. We will use this paper to make 4 experience 2 books that we will put on our sword and on our pickaxe. Let's also craft our experience bottles. From all the grinding in the caves, you should have around 2 full pages of lapis. Don't worry, you'll get more. Feel free to craft all 9 stacks of experience bottles, as we will need them. And remember guys, you have to make sure you're enchanting smart, meaning that you're putting low level enchantments and then combining the enchantments on the sword without paying extra experience cost that it would cost you to put a high level enchantment on straight away. Also, feel free to completely pimp out this pickaxe, meaning that put efficiency 5, put a fortune, put every single enchantment that you want, because we definitely have the experience levels to spare, and each enchantment gives us a little bit of that enchanting experience that we need to get to that enchanting level 10. Also, you can craft some looting books that are found in the gold collection. They only cost a couple gold blocks to make and will give some extra zombie flesh whenever we're killing the monsters in the caves. After we're done enchanting, let's go ahead and reforge our pickaxe to magnetic and go back to the caves to continue farming experience. And this farm is going to be taking a little bit longer than the previous 50 levels. We will have to get 50 levels 4 times to get growth 5 on all of our armor in order to progress further into the Diamond Reserve and the Obsidian Sanctuary to grab the last couple of minions, and also go to the Spider's Den to get our last remaining minion for the setup. Now, there's two ways to grind experience. You can either go and mine emeralds. Emeralds give the most experience for mining an ore, or you can go to the lapis mines and finish up your lapis armor and mine lapis, as this will unlock you grind experience bottles later and also lead you to experience potions, which will be very important. Now, there is a big question if you should use other people's island to use their portals. For the sake of the video, I did use it to, of course, save some time, but on my actual Ironman playthrough, I actually restricted myself from not visiting any people, as building portals is one of the biggest resources sinks in an early game, and it's one of the big accomplishments to have a portal room. Of course, I did remove it once I got the scrolls later. After enchanting your armor, if you feel confident, go ahead and make your way to the diamond reservoir. Here you can start getting the resources to get the diamond minion, and when it hits nighttime, it's go time. Go ahead and make your way to the obsidian sanctuary and get the obsidian required to make an obsidian minion. A very dangerous place. Make sure you practice your zombie kiting skills, as these will come very handy. If you feel lazy getting all the 80 obsidian, of course you can just get enough obsidian to unlock the minion and then buy the rest of the obsidian from the builder shop. Or if you feel real frisky, you can go ahead and buy 80 lava buckets and make your own obsidian. But of course that's not really fun. Now, if you did everything correctly, if you finish enchanting your armor, you should hit enchanting level 10. This will unlock the experimentation tables, and from this point on, you will never have to worry about enchanting ever again, as it gives a ridiculous amount of experience. The experimentation table allows you to do one experiment every day. This cooldown gets reset after each day, and you can of course use forced resets that cost bits and extra experience, but I won't get into those today. They're not really relevant, but for 25 levels you can do the very first experiment, and after this experiment I got 6 enchanting levels. Once we have all that done, let's make our way to the spider's den and grind for the spider minion. The spider minion is really important early game, as it is the only way to properly farm out the grappling hook, and of course the grappling hook is by far the most important item early game, as the amount of mobility it provides is absolute insanity. Once we have our spider minion done, it's finally time to start talking about our final minion setup for the day. This is the big thing that we were working for the entire day, and it's probably the most important thing, as minions early game is the fastest way to progress and probably the only way to reasonably progress through the game mode. The first minion you want is a chicken minion. You're gonna hold that until you reach chicken collection 5 to unlock the enchanted egg. Once you do that, you are free to make a chicken hopper and get that enchanted egg upgrade to your minion. From that point on, you are getting eggs for doing nothing, and you can forget about the minion forever. It's gonna make you eggs to make pets, and it's gonna get you chicken to make your tiger pet later on. The next minion is gonna be a cow. You want the cow minion for the enchanted leather required to make sacks, required to make backpacks, and required to make talismans like the Red Claw artifact later on in the game. After that, you want your coal minions. I would say 3 is a good number to start with. The 2 minions that we have got earlier will probably produce enough resources to make a third minion, and those minions will be used to get the enchanted charcoal as soon as possible, as it's going to be the fuel that you're going to be using until you get enchanted lava buckets. Now, once you get mineral armor, you will stop using the coal minions forever and mine coal manually. Mining coal manually will probably produce more coal in 1 hour than your minions will do in entire 3 days. So it's just simply inefficient to keep your minions if you have your mineral armor. Next minion is going to be a redstone minion. Now redstone minions will probably be holding for the entirety of your Ironman playthrough. At least I am still holding my redstone minions on my main after over half a year of playing, simply because the amount of redstone we need on Ironman is absolutely ridiculous. You need it for compactors, you need it for personal compactors, you need it for all kinds of things like the overflux and regular use redstone for maybe even potions. Also, the collection is really important early game as it unlocks your talisman bag upgrades, and of course talismans consist over 70% of your entire damage, so you definitely want to progress on the talisman perspective. Next minion you're gonna want is gonna be a diamond minion. I know it sounds weird at first, but listen up. You need a diamond minion to get a diamond spreading, and that's pretty much the only thing you're gonna want from the diamond collection. Once we get the diamond spreading, we will never even touch a diamond minion ever again. So to get there, you're gonna be using a diamond minion for a couple days to get to that collection, which is I'm pretty sure diamond 6 when you unlock the recipe, and from that point on you will put a diamond spreading into every minion and just forget about diamonds forever. Next minion you're gonna want is going to be an obsidian minion. It sounds weird as well, but listen, you need obsidian early game as the gravity talisman is pretty fun. Also, Obsidian is ridiculously annoying, and because we want early minion slots, you will probably want to grab yourself some obsidian. Maybe for 1 or 3 days you're gonna be holding the minion. Just get yourself the tier 4 obsidian minion, and after that you can replace it with something else. And at last, one of the most important minions, the spider minion. Pretty self-explanatory. You need the grappling hook. It's so useful and so nice to have. And until you get that, you're going to be running it. Once you get it though, it's not really useful, so you probably will be replacing it with something a little bit more important. So that's the setup for 10 of your minions. If you have more slots, feel free to add any more coal minions, any more redstone minions, or get yourself some more animal minions. Like sheep and pig are pretty important. Sheep unlocks you the husbandry sack and the sheep pet, which you will need if you're going mage in dungeons. Also, pig unlocks you talismans, and rabbits are just honestly just a pain and nothing too useful you can get from them. Some other notable mentions is of course glowstone for the potions. You could also grab yourself a Lapis Minion, as it does provide you with some experience bottles and start working towards the experience artifact. You can also consider getting a Cocoa Bean Minion. Cocoa Bean Minion, I would really advise you to get a Super Compactor for, as it fills up really quickly. So it's a lot of management, but if you do want the replenish book really badly, you could do it without a compactor. Just know that it's going to be quite a lot of management and you're going to have to log on every 2 hours or so. For other minions, I'm just gonna mention the minions that you should be avoiding. You should avoid any of the combat minions unless you're specifically grinding for an item in that specific collection. Let's say a bow like Runans or a Hurricane for the skeleton collection. You can have a minion for that, but other than that, do not have minions down just to upgrade them, as you can just buy the resources to upgrade all the combat minions from the shops. Also, a good thing to do is grab the enchanted bread for all of your minions before you do leave for the night, as it will give you a nice 5% boost to your minion speed. Honestly, it doesn't take long to get, and I mean 5% is better than just not having fuel. For those who don't know, you can find enchanted bread in the Wheat 5 collection. It just costs 60 bread to craft and lasts for 12 hours, so it shouldn't take longer than 5 minutes to get all your minions set up with enchanted bread. Your next focus should be unlocking the dwarven mines. As we all know, we need 12 mining and 3 of the following of enchanted ores. I chose to get lapis, redstone, and coal. 10 each. You give it to Riss and he gives you the access to the dwarven mines. Now in the dwarven mines, the first focus should be to talk to Fetcher and give him the required item of the day. He'll give you free 20,000 coins and some essence, or powder, sorry. And you can do this every day. So make sure you don't forget to grab your free 20,000 coins. Also, big important note is that if you do this during a double powder event, you will get 2,000 powder instead of 1,000. So make sure that if you're not two-time locked, you can wait for a double powder event. After Fetcher, make your way to the palace and talk to the puzzler. He will give you a little minigame to guess the correct block by giving you instructions, and completing that will give you another 1000 powder. Well, of course, 2000 if it's a double powder event. So do these every day, and please don't forget about it. It's really important. It's quite a big boost to your mining. And now for the Dwarven Mines progression, a lot of people ask what kind of pickaxe they should get. And in my opinion, you should just get the best pickaxe you can get at your Heart of the Mountain level. So just go talk to Boo Boo and get the best pickaxe you can buy. And when you reach Heart of the Mountain 5, you can start making your titanium drill, which will be the drill you'll be using probably until mining 60. And feel free to upgrade it, along the way. Don't forget about the quest that Bedlam has for you. If you talk to Bedlam 3 times per 3 Skyblock days, he will tell you about a treasure that you can find underneath a statue, and that treasure is amazing. It gives you enchanted titanium, gold, mithril, and diamonds. All those things can be sold at the shop for about 50,000 coins, or you can keep them if you need the resources, but I would really recommend selling them as those 50,000 coins in addition with the 20,000 from Fetcher and a couple of relics from the spiders, then will straight up just buy you a Raider's Axe without you having to actually try to make money. Now for those who haven't done the quest, you can find the treasure by the right giant's right foot. If you see here, there is the left giant and there is the right giant. So right giant, right foot, right there in the middle block next to the brick, you find the chest and there is the treasure. Now, let's talk about some gear. Because we have the access to the Dwarven Mines, we have access to the Glassite Warriors, which drop the Glassite armor. The armor is literally just straight up better than Hardened Diamond, and you will probably be using this even in dungeons. It's ridiculously good, and you can get it very quickly into the game. It's been 5 hours of this profile, and I already have access to these things, and in about, let's say, 2 hours, I would be able to farm out the entire set of armor and be set for the armor for a really long time, probably until we get to the end and start doing ender armor. Now, I won't go too in depth into the mining skill progression. You mostly just want to be doing commissions and make sure that whenever you're mining, you have your haste potions, as these give you mining speed. It's pretty important. Trust me, it will speed up the progress a lot. Just keep on doing the commissions and level up mining. I will go more in depth about the entire Heart of the Mountain tree and how you should go around it in the mid-game Ironman progression guide. Now for forging, if you have an efficiency 5 gold axe and a haste 3 potion, you can instantly mine all the logs in the park, but it's exclusively in the park. Just take notes because in the hub you won't be able to instantly mine oak wood because the update, how they fixed the insta breaking logs, it doesn't work in the hub, it only works in the park. So for the hub oak harvesting, you will still need to get a jungle axe if you want to get those medium swords unlocked quicker. I would say hold on to those until you get a decapitator. It will make your life a lot easier, and you don't really need a medium storage too soon. Just upgrade your minions and make sure they have enough storage through the upgrades. Make sure you do forging early on. Not only does the collection buff up your Raider's Axe once you get it, it gives it more strength, but the early game forging is such easy minion slots because you get so much wood so quickly. You can easily get tier 7 wood minions except for oak in about 20 to 30 minutes. And also make sure you grind out acacia, as it will give you the repelling candle, and it will give you the savannah bow, which will be the best bow until you get the endstone bow in the end. Once you get the savannah bow though, you're free to go to the nether during nighttime, grab yourself the ghast minion, grab yourself the blaze minion, the magma cube minions, all the minions in the combat collection. Make sure you don't slack on your minions. I want to see you getting 20 minion slots in the first week of playing. Trust me, it's very easy to achieve, especially with the community center upgrades, which I will show you a trick. You don't actually have to have the playtime to access the community shop. I'm not sure how long this is gonna stay in the game. Admins probably will fix it, but for now, you can access the community shop by entering a city project and then instantly going into the upgrades menu. You should probably do this at the very start of the game, as you can start your minion slot upgrade in the very first minutes of playing. Now, coming back to the Raider's Axe topic, because you will need to unlock it and it requires a magical water bucket, let me give you some, ways to get it. The easiest way would probably be to wait for the Jerry Island event that happens during late winter and mine the ice over there to unlock your magical water bucket. Or you can, if you can't wait for the event and it's not happening anytime soon, you could make a giant platform in the air on your island and make your island into a tundra and then mine the ice that starts freezing over time. Or you could just straight up get a friend to unlock the Viking shop for you. Because you don't really have to unlock it yourself, you can just get a friend, which is exactly what I recommend. Don't bother getting the ice if you have to wait. Just ask a friend to do it for you. Now, the last skill I'm gonna touch on is going to be fishing. For fishing, you don't want to focus on it too much, as it's not too important in early game, but during mid game, it's gonna be the skill you're gonna be focusing on the most. It's gonna be really important later, so prepare for that. But for now, though, all you gotta do is talk to the fisherman. He's gonna give you a quest. Make sure you get yourself a fishing rod that has lure 5. Lure is by far the most important enchantment. It will save you so much time, and all you gotta do is fish up 50 clay to unlock the clay minion. After you unlock the clay minion, you can stop fishing and get the rest of the clay just by trading in seeds for the actual clay. And don't touch fishing from that point on, probably until you are ready to kill all the sea creatures, probably when you have full glaciite and a raider's axe. I should also cover the fact that getting ender pearls for you new players while starting out is pretty hard. Once you're an Ironman, you would either have to make a platform to get ender pearls, or you can access the end at combat 12, which you should be able to do whenever you get full glaciite. Those give quite a bit of combat XP, and you can cheese the Enderman by standing on a 3 high platform or block and then hitting them without them being able to hit you. Now, the reason you want Ender Pearls is for the relics. Relics, sadly, I won't be showing. You can look those up on YouTube, but they're pretty easy to get once you have a couple Ender Pearls, so good luck on those. They're not a lot of fun to do, so you gotta just pull through. It's probably the same as Fairy Souls. Nobody likes them, but they're so useful. And finally, for the last thing I'm going to talk about in this video is daily shops. Every day you want to buy out these specific items from the shops. You want to buy out all the fish. You want to go to the alchemist and you want to buy out the rabbit feet and the spider eyes. And of course the blaze powder. If you're feeling rich, you can buy out the magma cream. And if you're feeling extremely rich, you can even buy the gas tiers. I don't recommend doing this too early until you get a decent farm going. At the adventure, you want to buy out all the mob drops, literally everything, and of course you want to buy all the talismans. From the woodcutter, you can buy out all the wood, even though I really don't recommend doing so, as you can easily get it all yourself. And from the builder, you want to go into the legacy shop, you want to buy out the ice and the quartz. You want to go to variety and buy out even more quartz. You can even buy out the glowstone and the sponge. Sponge, of course, is used for the shark armor. It's going to be extremely expensive to get it though, so it's something you will work on later in the game. Then you also want to buy dandelions. Dandelions are used for the flower minion, and trust me, you're going to want so many dandelions for the minion, as you never want to put it down. You just want to upgrade it without actually using it. You also can buy out the obsidian in the shop. It's decently expensive though. You can also find sand, even though you can mine sand in the desert settlement now. It's kind of a useless item to buy, and that pretty much sums up all the daily buying stuff that you should be doing. Oh, let me mention the shops where you can buy some iron, some gold, and coal in the miner. And you can also go to the gold mine and buy out all the gold and iron over there. And that marks the end of the guide. At the end of it, you should be able to have your full glaciite, your raider's axe, and also don't slack on those minions, as those are extremely important. Don't forget about fuel, which is enchanted charcoal. You should be using that. Don't forget foraging. Please love foraging and fishing. They're really important skills. And hopefully you guys found this informative and useful. If you have any further questions, feel free to tune into my streams. I stream every single day during evenings at Eastern European time zone. You just come in, ask me literally anything, and I will try to answer the questions. And of course, if you enjoyed, please leave me a like and a subscription would be highly appreciated. Really sorry for the long video. There was a lot to talk about. I will be releasing another guide talking about mid-game progression where I'm going to share a lot of things about the dungeon progression, talismans, and items you should be focusing in on the mid-game. So hopefully you guys are going to be stay tuned for that video, which should come out in about a month from now. So I'll see you in the next one.